Hello, my name is Emma Coursey, and I just graduated from Iowa State University with my bachelor's in animal science degree. In this fall, I will be attending the University of Illinois College of Veterinary Medicine. The topic for today is best practices for moving and sorting pigs to improve their welfare. Why is this topic important? Moving and sorting pigs when using improper handling methods often results in high stress for the pigs as well as behavioral issues. This can end up causing issues for pigs' welfare and productivity. As a result, producers can experience carcass shrink, trim loss, and poor meat quality. PQA Plus 2021 also notes that improper handling and transport of pigs is one of the largest profit-reducing issues that's facing the pork industry. As well, Ganyu 2008 states that stressed sows that are euthanized represent a considerable financial loss to the industry and are a major welfare concern. It's also important that caretakers will have sound scientific information and know the best industry practices in order to humanely move sows as well as maintain their safety. Archibald 2023 states that calm pigs are less dangerous, safer to work with, and easier to sort. Terms to know. First is sorting pigs, which refers to choosing specific pigs or a pig to move in one direction or to a designated area. This is often done with a sorting board. PQA Plus 2021 recommends that this is done in pairs and you have one caretaker work gate and the other sort pigs. PQA Plus 2021 also recommends that when sorting and moving pigs, you have a group size for finished and market pigs between 3 to 5 pigs. And for breeding stock, this be between moving pigs individually or in groups of up to 5 pigs. This is based off temperament and safety conditions. Next, you have moving pigs, which refers to relocating pigs from one area to another. And as stated again, these groups should be large enough to be efficient for the production systems, but still small enough for safe handling. And lastly, there is animal welfare, and this refers to the physical and mental state of an animal in relation to the conditions in which it lives and dies. And this helps make sure that the pig has a minimum standard of living and treatment. Basic pig behavior. So knowing basic pig behavior and body language makes it a positive experience for both the pig and caretakers. A lot of a pig's behavior is from natural instinct and can be impacted by many different factors. There are also important aspects to consider. The first one is flight zone. This is the individual area of space around a pig. With this, the flight zone can increase or decrease depending on how tame that animal is. The more tame the animal is, the smaller the flight zone. If a handler approaches the flight zone, this causes the pig to go in the opposite direction. Next is point of balance. This is usually located at a pig's shoulders and helps determine which way the pig will move away from the handler, as long as there is space and the handler allows it. Point of balance is not always accurate at predicting how a pig responds, though, and PQA Plus 2021 states that this is common when the pig's space or ability to move away is restricted. When this happens, it's important that the caretaker understands the pig behaviors and the body language. Lastly is blind spot, and this is located directly in front of and behind the pig as shown in the figure on the right. In order for the pig to see these blind spots, the pig must turn its head. What you need to know to be successful. So pigs have an excellent smell and hearing. Hefner and Hefner found that pigs' hearing ranges between 42 Hz to 40.5 kHz, with most of the sensitivity between 9 decibels and 8 kHz. Perfs, Augustine Fitzpatrick et al. 2001 found that for humans, this ranges between 20 Hz to 20 kHz. This means that pigs can detect more sounds and those at higher frequencies, while humans' hearing is more specialized, and this is done to adhere to speech and communication. As well, a pig's sense of smell is 2,000 times more sensitive than humans. Brunhes, Feldman, and Osterberg 2016 compared humans to pigs, and they found that the olfactory bulb in swine is roughly 7% of their brain size, while only 0.01% in humans, which explains that large difference in sense of smell. Pigs also have great memory and can remember both positive and negative experiences, which is why it's so important to minimize those negative experiences that a pig has to make it an easier handling experience. And lastly, pigs have a poor depth perception, and PQA Plus 2021 states that pig's field of vision is 310 degrees, with the blind spot both forward and behind. Next, pigs like to stay with other pigs as a means of protection. This is why allowing the pigs to flow in a herd is very important and helps prevent bunching. Pigs are also more likely to move towards light rather than darkness, and this is why you want to minimize your lighting variation as well as not have shadows in your barn. Pigs are also social animals, and being isolated can make the pig become stressed. This is why it's easier to move pigs in smaller groups, and they are known to follow each other. This makes extremely large groups more difficult to move. And as a result, this can cause more stress, which increases heart rate, respiration rate, and injuries. It is important that you always handle pigs based on their size and phase of production and use the proper handling equipment. So, how does stress end up affecting pigs? So, chronic stress and glucocorticoids inhibit the release of luteinizing hormone from the pituitary, as well as estradiol and progesterone secretion by the ovary and testosterone from the testes, which causes these blood concentrations of the hormones to decrease. And these high stress levels can be problematic for the pig, specifically with pig performance, reproduction, behavior, immunity, and meat quality. And of course, the effects of how this affects the pig depend on the stress duration, intensity, how early the stress started, the age, and genetics of an animal. Furthering that topic, the immunity is specifically impaired due to the change in numbers of blood leukocytes, mitogen-induced cell proliferation, natural killer cell toxicity, and circulating inflammatory factors, which causes an increase in the susceptibility to new infectious diseases, as stated by Martinez-Miro. Hemsworth and Barnett, 1990, also found that behavior issues from these high-stress incidents included slowness to approach, fewer interactions, avoidance, and more time spent in the experimeter. Martinez-Miro also go on to state about meat incidents, which stress makes it become pale, soft, exudative, and dark, firm, and dry. And lastly, Martinez-Miro state that ejaculate volume and semen quality is reduced while sows fewer piglets and have a reduced rebreeding rate. So what are signs that your pig has stress during handling? The first is a strained squeal, and this is often a long, high-pitched sound associated with pain. Next would be a heart rate or body temperature level that is above or below the range given in the table on the right. Next is lower blood pH. This results in faster muscle glycogen breakdown when the carcass temperature is high. This results in a denaturation of muscle proteins, and these proteins are what helps to influence texture, hold water, and impact color. Next is stiffness. This causes the muscles to be tight and issues with mobility. There is stumbling and then open mouth breathing, otherwise known as panting. It's important to note that the normal resting respiratory rate of a pig is 32 to 58 breaths per minute. When the pig is stressed, often this number will be much higher. And lastly, there is muscle tremors and blotchy skin. And blotchy skin often results in a purple or red color. So what should you do if signs of stress are observed? The main thing you can do is release pressure. And this is an action that's done to help reduce the level of threat posed to pig behavior, which is done by giving the pig more time and more space. Ways to do this are to let pigs circle past. You can look away from the pig. You can discontinue making noise. You can reduce group size. And you can also step back and refrain from making physical contact with pigs. And the image on the right shows the disposition of pigs and the response versus when they are calm, mild fear or defensive, heightened fear, and extreme fear. Next is the recommended personal protective equipment to move and sort pigs. This consists of knee pads, non-slip boots, hearing protection, eye protection, gloves, and a mask. It's important that you first look to see what farms require which PPE before entering, so you can make an educated decision on which PPE you will use. So how should you enhance moving and sorting with handling equipment? So this can first be done with visual stimuli. Visual stimuli consist of flags or capes, and they serve as a tool to block a pig's path. To use, you just simply place the flag or cape in front of the path that you do not want the pig to go to prevent the movement. Next is auditory stimuli, and this is done with shakers or rattle paddles. The rattle paddles you can see in the above image with the multicolors such as red, blue, orange, purple, green. So this provides noise to assist with moving pigs and getting them up. To get them up, make sure you just tap them gently to assist with that. Otherwise, you can shake for noise, which assists in the movement. And lastly, there's a physical barrier, which is otherwise known as sorting boards. And these also provide visual stimulus and protection for the handler. So to use, position the board in front of you and away from the body, and it should be anchored to the ground and not your knees to prevent injury. So what handling equipment should you avoid? The main one is electrical prods. So Ganyu 2008 did a study which consisted of 192 near market weight animals, and this was conducted at Prairie Swine Center in Canada. And he compared 3 handling treatments, which were known as gentle handling with the use of the electrical prod, aggressive handling without the use of the electrical prod, and aggressive handling with the use of the electrical prod. He found that over 40% exhibited severe stress when prodded, which caused some to be euthanized. The study defined highly stressed animals when they exhibited 2 or more of the following signs: labored breathing, blotchy skin, stumbling, and strained squealing. The study also showed that pigs moved aggressively without the electrical prod experienced a small proportion of highly stressed pigs, and you can see these numbers more specifically in the table on the right. It's also important to note that about 4% of the animals who stumbled and fell during handling were euthanized if immediate recovery was not possible. And these were the highly stressed pigs. So how to move sows. So what should you not do and what should you do? So with what you shouldn't do, you should not move quickly. You shouldn't have a cluttered barn. You shouldn't have shadows or uneven lighting. You shouldn't be overcrowding your pens. You need to follow the stocking density requirements. You shouldn't maliciously use animal handling equipment. You should know how to use PPE and to wear it and to make sure nothing is damaged. And you should not make loud noises. What to do? So have a clean barn, no basic pig behavior, always be calm and touch animals gently. Know your surroundings, have even lighting, know proper handling equipment, and make sure you are trained on how to use the handling equipment, as well as how to wear PPE, and move sows. So now you know what to do. So make sure you're calm and use proper handling methods, know pig temperament and responses, allow pigs to walk at their own pace, have patience, talk softly, understand how to use any necessary equipment, prepare the route, and know your role on the team. And these are my references to follow. Thank you.